From the Sanosi is Back Studios of Arizona, Sean Strickland, CRIES, Khamzat Chimaev, Unrecognizable UFC News, live with the MMA-Holes.
Wonderful.
What's going on, friends? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. We are here. We are live. We are wonderful. My name is Mystic Moss, King of the Dragons, and I will be your host for this Wednesday's show. How's everyone doing in the chat? Hopefully you are glorious as well. We got to talk about kind of crazy. Sean Strickland getting very emotional on a Theo podcast. And there was rumblings about this. Audio is leaked. Now the footage is released, and we're going to walk through the exchange between him and Theo Von. It's going to get interesting. Khamzat Chimaev does look unrecognizable, and we're going to talk about that, his illness and his return to the UFC, when that's going to be. More 300 news and everything. How's everyone doing? You doing well? You're looking good tonight. You're looking sexy tonight, chat. Good to see you here. Big shout out to mybookie.ag. The promo code is MMA-Holes, but there's something different. There's a 10% match in your first deposit. And people are probably like, yo, wait, hold on a second. You used to give a 50% match. But now, with MyBookie, we have worked with them and said, no more rollover! Pull the money out! Pull it out of your account. So go on over to mybookie.ag, get that 10% match, but you could pull your money right out. Don't know many betting sites that are doing that. You could just bet, pull, mybookie.ag, but use the promo code MMAHOLES. Thank you to MyBookie for that. Let's shout out ESPN Plus. If you're going to be watching any of the stuff for the UFC, go to ESPN Plus. UFC extravaganza is going down. Everything you need UFC. Click the link in the description down below. And shout out to Clash TV. Clash TV every Tuesday night. We got a stream uploaded on Clash. So go give us a follow over there. It's completely free. Okay. And shout out to Undisputed Belts. Undisputed Belts, we signed another deal with them. So going into next year, you're going to be getting some Undisputed Belts for Goat Milk or for the money belt for Fuqua Friday. We have completed the order with that belt, so our Fuqua Friday winner is going to get it, and our Pick'em League winner, Johnny Smith, will be getting his belt as well. So let's go, baby! Everybody gets belts. Congrats, champions. Congrats. Oh, gosh. They're not giving you 10% match? Jeez, fam. That's the site, baby. I don't see FanDuel working with the MMA-Holes, but I see these guys doing it.
Wonderful.
MMA-Holes. Don't use those other betting sites. Because not only is MyBookie allowing you to pull your money quickly over there, but you're getting the 10% and they support this show. Very, very important. So use the promo code MMAHOLES. Who uses those other sites? Scrubs. All right, let's get into it. First, let's get into some monetization over here. Hold on a second. Let's put in for monetization. If you could do me a favor, everyone in the chat, if you could please deposit your like in the box. Okay, we're going to pass out the basket like a church. Okay, we're not asking for money. We're asking, well, if you want to donate, you can donate as well. But we are asking for you to hit the like button. So thank you to those who have hit it already. And if you haven't hit it, get out of my chat. We're going to be talking about Sean Strickland. Now, if you are the type of person that does not have any sense of humor at all, or if you have a firm stick shoved up your buttocks, well, get the hell out of the chat as well, okay? Because tonight, we're going to be diving down the road of mental illness. And there'll be some inappropriate jokes being said, and there'll be some compassion as well. So I won't be a complete tool. I won't be an a-hole. I'll be an MMA hole, okay? That's very important. Now, Sean Strickland, this is a tricky topic to tackle because Sean is the type of guy that very emotional, wears his heart on his sleeve. He seems like a very good guy, like a good guy to be a friend with, and I've said it many of times before that I want to surround myself with Sean Stricklands because, let's be honest, I'd rather have brutally honest people around me than a bunch of yes men or a bunch of liars, a bunch of backstabbers, a bunch of rats, as they say on the Mafia channels. But Sean Strickland seems like a straight-up dude. And let me know once in the chat if you agree that you would rather be around people like that. Some people aren't like that. Some people like to be around yes men. Some people like to not have the truth said to them, and they like to be pampered. And then usually those people are the people that are not in your life very long. They're in for a little bit of time. You have good times, and then next thing you know, they stab you in the back. I'd rather have people not stab me in the back. Just call me crazy, but that's what I like. So I admire Sean Strickland being open and honest. Maybe I agree or disagree with whatever his opinions are. For the most part, I kind of agree with a lot of things Sean Strickland says. And we've had his good friend, Chris Curtis, on the show multiple times, and he's sung his praise as well. So that being said, I do like Sean Strickland, and he's a fun guy to root for. I also did a stream where I sat on my roof and we watched fireworks be set off for Sean Strickland becoming a champion. A complete bootlicking, bull-hugging stream devoted to Sean Strickland. So if anyone were to come to this stream and say, well, Mystic Moss, you're just a hater. You're just an asshole. No, I actually genuinely like this guy. Okay? So there's how I feel about Sean. Okay? But I do need to address this topic here in this situation because, well, maybe Sean Strickland could be a hypocrite in some sort of way. Now, as you know, Sean has dealt with, situations in the past with his pop, and those demons have been brought out in multiple interviews. He's brought it up a lot, and he's joked about it. He's horsed around about it. And in a lead up to his fight that's in Canada against DDP, Dricus du Plessis, well, du Plessis took it and threw it at him. Used it against him in the style of trash talk, and Sean didn't like it. He didn't like it at all. In fact, he jumped over Gilbert Burns' kids and said, I'm going to ground and pound you, and had to be separated and ejected from the building at a UFC event. So he got a little triggered. He got a little butthurt. And it's weird because, listen, I understand mental illness or dealing with serious things. Child abuse is messed up. Any sort of abuse is messed up, whether it's mental or physical. And it seems like he's had the kitchen sink thrown at him. He hasn't had a normal upbringing, right? But if you are a UFC fighter, you are a UFC champion, and you do speak your mind and say everything, and 90% of the stuff is controversial, going against gay people, making light of a subject about a girl that died. I mean, he's probably offended a lot of people along the way. And I think his mindset is, well, if you don't like it, fight me. I don't know if that's the great motto. People should be accountable for their words. I agree. But it could be done in discussion. It could be done in an attack of wit. It could be done of reprimanding, in a way. I don't think it needs to always go to blows. Now some people think, hey, no one's going to hit me, so I can say whatever the hell I want. And I've been guilty in situations of swinging first and asking questions later. I've done that as a kid, right? But as you get older, you understand that if someone doesn't say something nice to you, most likely should just walk the fuck away. Or, if you want to be an asshole, you could go right back at him. But I've used that a lot. But in this situation, Sean was hitting a point and he couldn't go back. He got dragged into this dark place, and the only thing he knew next was, well, I got to beat this guy up, right? So here he is on the Theo Von podcast, and it's kind of comical because out of all podcasts that he does, he decides to fucking melt down on Theo Von. Now, I got to say this. I am not a Theo Von fan. Never was a Theo Von fan. I never was a fan of his comedy. Nothing. I mean, I remember watching him on with the Real World, Road Rules Challenge, whatever the hell that was, MTV. I remember that. I've seen him, run around with his comedy friends. I've seen him with Brendan Schaub, then leave Brendan Schaub, and he's very successful now. And I'm impressed by what Theo Von has done with himself. But he's dumb as a rock, right? Let's call a spade a spade. Theo Von's not the most intelligent human being, right? I guess he surrounds himself with good people. He makes some people laugh, and he's successful. But, he's not the smartest guy. So Sean Strickland's on this podcast, and this is the guy he cries to, like talking to a rock. just literally talking to a fucking rock. And the reaction from Theo Von is just priceless. So we're going to play it here. We're going to chop it up. We're going to break it down. Okay? This couldn't have happened on a better podcast. You would think, hey, Sean Strickland breaks down. It's going to be on Rogan, right? The biggest podcast ever. You would think that. Or you would think somehow he would go on like, I don't know, a Howard Stern or something where Howard tries to drag your emotions out. This is Theo Von. Somehow Theo did it, right? And Theo's actually really smart. Listen, he doesn't articulate himself in an intelligent way, but who knows? Maybe there's got to be some sort of intelligence because he puts the right people around him and people find him funny, right? So he has enough intelligence in his head to make people laugh, you know? And yeah, I guess you could put some intelligence there. But listen, if you were to tell me what's Theo Von's IQ, it's probably not very high, and I'm sure he admits that, right? He's not a smart dude. I don't run around saying I'm a fucking smart dude. We are self-aware, and I'm pretty sure Theo Von's pretty self-aware as well. So me calling him a dummy, I'm sure he wouldn't get very offended. And if you get offended by it, maybe you're a dummy. I don't know. Thank you, Nicole Wilson, 41 months as a member. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Nicole. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's play some of this over here. So you got my backstory on this. I know people get very offended. Like, if I insult a comedian that you think is funny or something like that, I got to make very clear, I have nothing against Theo Von. And actually watching this, I was like, you know what? Seems like a cool dude. Theo actually seems like a very kind-hearted guy. I will say that. And maybe that's what made Sean Strickland open up. But you guys ready? How many people in the chat saw this or heard the clip of Sean Strickland breaking down? How many people saw this? And the reason why I'm playing this is because we're leading up into his fight. This is not like some sort of soap opera show or anything like that. I think it's fascinating because you got to think, okay, what kind of Sean Strickland's going to go into the DDP fight? Is he going to be a madman? Is he going to be a broken man? Like, what? I mean, it looks like he's in great shape. What kind of guy? So, okay, let's see. Some people have seen it. Some of it, he was smart enough to dump Brendan Schaub. That's true. Yeah, you're supposed to surround yourself with smart people, so definitely get away from Brendan. So some of it was a great episode. I did, sup, Chris? How you doing, Greg? I watched a little of it. Hey, my Aunt Ann, the knitter, and the best knitter. Knitter titter around. Okay, here we go. Theo is brilliant because he distanced himself from Schaub. Yeah, that's not, I mean, I mean, come on. How smart. This guy's dumb. Need to get away from him. This guy's a fucking narcissist. He's an asshole. Need to get away. You know? But it is wild thinking like how Theo went from MTV and from what I heard from this interview, he hasn't really come from much. He was talking about, all right, we'll get into it. Let's get to this donation here. Thank you, Sonosi.
Wonderful.
Dropping a deuce, supporting the show.
You might need to replace the Don't Cry Daddy Cowboy with Don't Cry Sean Strickland. Man, DDP gonna claim credit making him cry like a bitch. He already won.
Ooh, hard take right over there. Hard take. I kind of agree, man. You got to think DDP is kind of like, oh, man, I got this dude, you know? Now, you can't get ahead of yourself if you're Duplessis. You can't, you got to think that Sean Strickland's going to go in there like an animal. He's got a great team around him. And I'm sure Eric Nixick is going to pull him together here. And you know what? I got to get Eric on the show because we do follow each other on Twitter. He's a very nice guy. I just haven't really pulled the trigger on Eric, and I really should reach out to him because I would love to get his side on all of this. I'm sure, listen, he's gonna defend Sean till the end, of course. But, I mean, I think that's the beauty of not having Sean on the show. I've wanted Sean to be on the show, but I'm glad I didn't because I could look at this unbiased. I could look at as a spectator, as a fan of the guy, as a guy who's devoted streams to cheering him on. But I could also go the other route too. And I got to be honest with you, I'm hoping he learns from this situation. I really do because, like, is he going to, like, for instance, he goes on the Nelk Boy podcast, and I think the Nelk Boys are, listen, they're frat boys. That's what they are. And they have that one kid, that Steiny kid, who's a complete hot mess, and he says a lot of nonsense. But Sean went in there and roasted this kid. What if this kid has mental illness and issues, dark demons, and Sean was just shitting on him on his own show, and Sean doesn't even know this kid, right? Like Sean has been guilty of doing things in other directions. And like I said before, please, if you're just jumping into the stream, rewind when we're done. Rewind so you can see me saying nice things about Sean. I like Sean a lot, but we have to call a spade a spade. I mean, You can't dish it and not be able to take it just because, oh, well, I'm going to punch you now. Like that. No. If you can't take words, don't throw the words. You understand? Don't throw it. If you can't take it, don't throw it. I mean, I think that's, and I'm hoping he learns a lot from this. Like, I hope, you know, he can kind of pull it together a little bit more and maybe address those demons with a professional rather than Theo Von. I mean, he chose Theo Von to be his therapist. It's amazing. Drop it. Woo!
You hear that jam?
The smartest thing Theo did was dump my dumb ass. He's avoided lady trouble and makes more money pretending to be stupid than I make being stupid. He's a smart motherfucker.
That would be something else if Theo, like that, this whole gimmick, this whole bit is an act. Dude, that would be like, imagine like down the road, like 10, 20 years down the road, Theo like has a British accent and he's super well-read and intelligent and it's not the guy, like he just pulled the wool. That would be amazing, man. That'd be fantastic. I would have so much respect. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But think about it. Look into it.
Super chat.
Destry Takeda, thank you for the 99 cent. Hey, appreciate you guys donating tonight. Very much so. Appreciate that. By the way, Gummy Gang, we did an AI stream. If you got to check that out. That was a lot of fun last night.
Super chat.
And backs it up with a 499. Thank you, Destry.
Sean accused DDP of saying his dad tucked him toe and DDP never did.
All right, so Sean accused DDP of saying his dad tucked him or effed him, you saying, right? No, and DDP never did. Yeah, like Sean was calling DDP gay. He was calling him this and that. And it's like, I mean, listen, people are like, well, this is worse than that. And Sean Strickland says, you know, there are certain things that are off limits. And then he's literally said those things that are off limits. I'll give you an example. Ian Gary, he says that like going after someone's wife is off limit. And Sean Strickland went after Ian Gary's wife, like, and he's still going after his wife. Like, it doesn't like compute in my brain. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So to the Strickland defenders out there, you know, that are feeling bad for Sean, like, I don't know how the fuck you could feel bad for this guy. I feel bad that he was abused as a kid. That's horrific. You know what I'm saying? But if someone is going to throw shit back at him, like, why are we upset? Why are we sad for the guy? Casey, thank you for gifting a membership. And Power Structure just got it. All right. Okay. Stop babbling here. We got a full room in attendance. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Let's listen. This is on the Theo Von podcast. Now, it's a 2-hour episode. It's only 5 minutes of it. We're going to spend a lot of time on this, breaking this thing down. There's some comical parts, and there's some sad parts.
So anyways, that's scary, dude.
So anyways, my dad gets on top of my mom. She says, like, I remember he said, like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you tonight. Maybe it was just rough sex. We don't know at this moment, right?
And you were under the bed?
I'm under the bed.
Now, he's told this story many of times. Many of times we've heard this story. So it's kind of weird how this time telling it leads into what happens.
He starts strangling her, and I get out, and the only thing I can see is a guitar. I just fucking crack him in the head, call the cops, and then I run down the street, call the cop, gets arrested. My dumbass mom bailed him out of jail.
Oh.
How many times have you seen that, right? Domestic violence, the woman's like, you see that all the time. But, I mean, she kind of got dad back because she was fucking all the guys behind his back. So, you know, Theo Von's like, oh, damn.
But it's like, I mean, even that, like, I mean, that was like, I wouldn't even say that's tip of the iceberg. I mean, I remember like being a little kid, so I would always miss school because my dad would get home drunk, start drinking at like 6. He would get home at like 7 and like just be up until like 3 a.m, just like tell my mom, tell my mom she's a whore, he's gonna kill her. Like, and I remember I used to like,
what a loser, huh?
Oh,
sorry to say that about your dad.
No, he died.
I mean, he's not wrong, right? What a loser your dad is. Thank God my dad's not your dad.
What a loser, huh?
Oh,
sorry to say that about your dad.
No, he died. He's shit. He died of cancer. But anyways,
I think he's unintentionally funny, Theo Von. I think that's the charm of him, right?
He's dying of cancer now.
Yeah, he died of cancer. Yeah, fucking, hell.
Probably from the hate inside of him building up. I hate to say that.
He was just drugs, dude. Lots of drugs, pain pills. Why I don't do drugs? So I remember like I used to sit there and just kind of like hug my mom's leg in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we had this little nook and she would like go in the nook and I would just sit there like all night long by like the feet of my mom, and my dad like, oh, I'm going to fucking kill you and this and that. And I'll never forget, like he would talk about like burning her face with acid. And mind you, I'm in elementary school. I'm in elementary school, right? So like,
so that's a lot of responsibility then you feel probably just to like take care of your mom.
Oh yeah. No, he'd always tell her that like, if you cheat on me, and she probably was cheating on him, if you cheat on me, I'm going to like cut you up and put you in a bottle of acid and bury you.
So he's, if you just jump it in, here's Sean Strickland on the Theo Von podcast. Okay, we got to chop it up. We got to do a little reaction here. Fair use. It's a really messed up situation, messed up story. And we're going to lead into him getting a little emotional here. And I'm wondering, it's around the holidays. Like, this was recorded a little while back. This was like right after the DDP thing. So he's been like, it's just been snowballing. These emotions that are like trapped inside Sean are snowballing. And here he is on this podcast. And Theo Von's got a pretty big platform now. And it just all hit a wall with this guy. Like he's just pouring all this information out. And here it comes.
So now you fast forward this, like I don't go to school. I'm up till 3 a.m. And I couldn't stay awake in school. Like, so like I remember I was like in second grade, and I kept falling asleep at my desk, and my teacher took my desk away from me and she made me like stand up. And so I'm like, fuck you, being a little kid, I just went and fell asleep on the ground. And mind you, like the school system's like, oh, Sean, like he's just a bad kid. They don't realize I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you know, late. I mean, fuck, dude. I remember
it's hard to stay up late and learn.
Dude, I remember like laying in bed. Like, I remember
dude, like Theo Von's is the dumbest shit, man. With the straightest of face. Is it a joke? Now, let me ask you a question in the chat. Dude, this guy's pouring his heart out. And this is the shit that he says.
And fuck, dude. I remember
it's hard to stay up late and learn.
Dude, I remember like.
Let's listen again here. Help me out, guys. Theo Von fans out there. Dude, why does he just say the dumbest shit?
Fell asleep on the ground. And mind you, like the school system's like, oh, Sean, like he's just a bad kid. They don't realize I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you know, late. I mean, fuck, dude. I remember.
It's hard to stay up late and learn.
Dude, I remember like laying in bed.
And Sean's just like, I'm just going to keep telling this story. Did this idiot just say that?
Like, I remember I stopped believing in God, man. Like, fucking, like I had fucking, yeah, it's crazy shit, dude. Crazy shit, man.
All right, so let's see. So the thing that like got him, so he wasn't even listening to what Theo said. Like, if you're in a rational mindset, you would stop the story and be like, bro, yeah, you're right, Theo, you're fucking right, you know, and then go back into the story. But yeah, let's see what set this off.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, late. I mean, fuck, dude. I remember.
It's hard to stay up late and learn.
Dude, I remember like laying in bed. Like, I remember I stopped believing in God, man. Like, fucking. Like I had fucking, yeah, it's crazy shit, dude.
So he says, I stopped believing in God. And it's pretty interesting that that's where the meltdown starts to happen, right? So he's been very outspoken about the God thing and you know, all these stories and stuff like that. But he goes, God, and then boom. I mean, all this guy wanted in life was to be a normal kid. That's all he wanted. And here he is, the UFC champion, about to defend his belt in Canada. He's on one of the bigger podcasts out there now, you know, speaking to a fucking retard. But still, I mean, like, everything has gone well for him. His dad is dead. Like, it would be so much better if dad was still alive, right? And his dad could see his son just achieve all this greatness, even though his dad was a piece of shit. Too bad his dad wasn't still alive to see this guy achieve this stuff and Sean Strickland to just fucking spit on him. But now all he could do is spit on this guy's grave. It is sad, man. It is very emotional to you know, see a guy that's been through something as a kid traumatic like this break down at a high stage. So I do feel it. It's not like I don't feel the emotion here. I do feel it.
Crazy shit, man.
Yeah. It's okay, man. It's a lot of that sad, dude. I used to be scared at night. Like, I used to stand up. Like, I heard when I was a kid that, like, if you peed around your, like, animals could pee somewhere that other animals wouldn't come. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Huh?
Yeah, man.
Have you ever heard that?
Like, Theo's being serious right now. He's being fucking serious.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
Like, he's about to tell a story about he pees around his bed. He's going to get to the story, right? But he's like, and Sean's like, bro, I'm literally breaking down in front of you. So now it's registered in Theo's head. It's like, oh, man, he's really fucked up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
So, man.
Now, this is kind of wild to see, right? We have seen, yeah, I tell you, Johnny, that's the best way to put it, right? I got to be honest, I was laughing my ass off throughout this thing with Theo, not at Sean, but at Theo, because I was like, damn, this guy really is funny. I've seen his stand-up, didn't laugh once, but I'm laughing when I'm not supposed to be laughing because he's just, I don't know, is he trying to be funny or is he just dumb? I can't figure it out, but when he's dumb, he is funny. So there's the secret sauce to Theo Von's podcast, and I understand why it's good. I listen to the whole damn thing, and I never get through a full podcast, but this, I listen to the whole thing. But here is Sean melting down, right? He's melting down in front of Theo Von. This past weekend is what the podcast is called. I don't know what he's drinking there. I know Sean doesn't drink alcohol, but I'm curious. Like, does anyone in the chat know if he was drinking alcohol? Maybe that's what triggered this. I have no idea. But we've seen a very strong, masculine human being, a guy that's gone up to whoop Izzy's ass for 5 straight rounds, almost finish him early. And here he is, broken. It's coffee? Oh, there's another drink, though, that's like, I don't know if it's, or maybe Red Bull's in there. I don't know. It looks like apple juice or some shit, but it could be whiskey. I don't know. I know he doesn't drink, so probably not. He's not drinking. Okay. So, man, this is pretty wild. But it really is like, man, damn, Sean broke, right? Shit, man.
Sorry, buddy.
That's all good, dude.
Now they're both looking down at the ground. Check this out. Dude, this is wild, man. This is fucking raw. And I got to be honest with you, this is the best place for this to happen, right? Like, as a person consuming this content, it's the best place. Like, Rogan would have just babbled over him or something, or try to pick his, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Rogan would have done, but I don't think he would have handled it like Theo. Theo almost handled it like masterfully. And I don't even know if he really realized what he was doing here, but he kind of let it breathe.
I'm sorry, buddy.
That's all good, dude.
Look at this. So now, dude, this is fucking crazy, man. Now you're seeing the hand movements, right? And this is where it kind of gets me, right? Because you watch his hands. That is probably shit he was doing when he was hiding under the bed with the fucking guitar, getting ready to kill his dad, you know? Or when he was hugging his mom's leg and his dad was screaming that he's going to melt his mom's face or whatever the hell. Like, you watch his hands go through the motions. It's powerful. It's really powerful stuff.
That's all good, dude.
Man, he's trying to like hold it together.
We don't have to talk, man. I can just sit here with you for a minute.
You know, Theo's crying. Sean's fucking crying. Dude, it's wild, right? Wild to look at. Crazy. His body is just kind of like, I don't know, man. It's just all coming out. You think it's autism? Like fake, like flat earth? Some dude says in the chat. It's got 1.2 million views in one day. Man, I tell you what, I listened to the whole damn podcast. And I got to give credit to Theo. Listen, I've trashed Theo before, his comedy, whatever, but I would listen to another podcast. If he has someone interesting on, I would listen. You know? Press conference going to suck now. Someone says the press conference. Yeah, like, what does DDP do? Does he keep going? Does the UFC warn him and say, listen, here's the thing. Like, you no pun intended with that. Here's the thing. If you're Dana White, you might have to say, hey, DDP, you might not want to keep going in this direction just because you don't want, you know, the crazies out there, the people that are advocates for mental illness, the people that are like hardcore trying to save, you know, people out there doing a good thing. But, you know, the nut jobs that are trying to cancel everybody, like, you got to be careful with this. This is sensitive now. You know, this man's breaking down. He's clearly unhinged. You know, I'm assuming that the UFC is going to try to nip this in the butt. As a fan, shit. I don't know where Duplessis is going to go with this trash talk now, but if he keeps going with it, I mean, I got to be honest with you, I still don't care. Like, I still think DDP should still do it. Honestly, you got him. You got him right where you want him, you know? And then after the fight, be respectful. Say, hey, man, I was just trying to sell a fight, man. Just trying to break it down, get in your head, try to beat a man in a cage in your underwear, but I have nothing but respect for you. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, these two are going to get locked in there. Here's the other question. Maybe Sean should not be a UFC fighter. Am I crazy for saying that? Like, this guy has done some amazing things, but this guy's got some serious fucking problems. And for him to get repeated brain damage inside a cage, now granted, he's got great defense, but Alex Pereira took his fucking soul. Maybe we shouldn't have a guy like this get hit in the head. Maybe instead of saying, hey, DDP, stop with the trash talk, maybe instead of stopping that, maybe we should say, hey, DDP, maybe we shouldn't let this fight happen. Maybe we shouldn't have you beat this man's head into the fucking mat. What happens if Duplessis goes in there and runs over Sean Strickland, repeatedly batters the man's head off the canvas, steals his belts? Now you got this unhinged guy off a loss, losing his championship, losing everything. Like, what is that going to do for Sean? Makes you think.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. 6 seconds.
Here he goes. He's still breaking down.
I can just sit here. We can just sit
Nah,
here.
it's all good, dude. 6 seconds. I just process it.
I mean, this guy is clearly fucked up. He can't blame it on booze. Can't blame it on drugs. He's blaming it on his past demons. I mean, this man literally wants to kill someone. Sean Strickland says, I'm waiting for the day where I can kill a human being. MMA Joey making fun of Sean Strickland. Listen, I think he's hypocritical in his approach to his, talking shit about everyone and then breaking down and saying, hey, you can't say certain things. I think that's very hypocritical, but I'm a human being and I understand that this man needs fucking help. Like, now. He needs help, this dude. Like, in like, the worst way. And he's got his girlfriend there, and it seems like she has broken down the wall. She's let out this emotional side in him, and it's actually helped him become a champion. It's helped him become a better human being, right? But he's got some issues, man. Watch Strickland try to kill DDP. He just shows up. They better fucking frisk him. Imagine he murders DDP. I mean, think about it. Remember the emotions of Sean Strickland, right? When he fought Israel Adesanya and the clock's a ticking and he's about to get his hand raised, right before he's about to get his hand raised, and he's screaming in Adesanya's face. There's an image on YouTube, on Google. I mean, if you look it up, he's just like the veins are popping out of his head. He's like lacing into Adesanya, screaming at him like he's screaming at his dad. You see the emotions there. So what the fuck is he going to do to DDP, a man that says he's going to treat him like, or worse than his father treated him? Sean might kill him in there. He could. But if Sean gets beat the fuck up, I mean, it's just going to enhance the CTE. It's going to enhance his mental illness. It's going to fuck him up even more. It's some scary shit, man. That scream was primal as fuck. I mean, it was. He literally, I don't know, man. He went back generation after generation. I mean, he went back to the caveman days where you can club a woman over the head and just do whatever the hell you want with them. Channeling that primal. But I mean, what you saw there was him literally screaming at his father. That's what you saw, realistically. Thank you, D-Man Diaz, saying CBD. How you doing, D-Man? If you're just jumping in, we're breaking down this Sean Strickland on Theo Von's podcast, and it sucks, man. It sucks to see a grown man, in a situation like this, a strong man in a situation like this. It's always sucks to see a guy emotional, but I will commend him for being able to let out emotions. I do feel, I do feel it's good, right? It is good for a man can cry, right? A man can, but Sean's got to deal with the consequences now. This guy's running around saying all this shit, trash talk on everybody, saying horrible things about people and their beliefs, trashing another man's wife when you basically said you should not go after a man's wife. And then Ian Gary, I think his wag, took to Twitter and said that thing. We'll read it in a sec. But I mean, this is a hot mess. They're still quiet, by the way. This is played over here. So here's this emotional pause after Sean broke down. Let's play this donation real quick.
Aw, super chat.
Osada treats. Thank you.
Theo should put on a mask of Sean's dad.
What the fuck, bro? Well, I got something for you here, Sean. Oh my God, Sean leaps over the table, knocks everything over, beats his head in.
We don't have to talk, man. I can just sit here with you for a minute.
Man, he's ugly crying. He's sipping on the water. I mean, this is rough.
Fuck. 6 seconds.
I can just sit here. We can just sit
Nah,
here.
it's all good, dude. 6 seconds. I just process it.
So the thing that set, I mean, he's telling all these stories, and if you're just jumping in, the thing that set it off, he's like, I found it hard believing in a God, and then all of a sudden he just lost it. It's pretty wild. Here he goes. He's doing the hand thing. Theo's just sitting there. Well, all Theo, I mean, I'm sure Theo feels for Sean, but at the same time, he's probably like, cha-ching. That's what I would think. I've had guys, I've made UFC fighters cry on the show. I've actually done it, and I felt horrible about it. But then in the back of my head, I was like, wow, it's good content right there. The fucking asshole inside me. So you know Theo Von's got a big platform. You know in the back of his head, he's like, man, I hope I can release this. This is going to be gold.
I think it's one of the hard things that people don't understand, like trauma, you know?
Yeah.
See the hand thing and
sometimes it just comes out.
Oh, no, dude. Like, I remember I have a hole in my gum.
Look at Theo's face. Well, oh my God, dude. By the way, the person I had on was William Knight, and he went through some like sexual abuse and shit like that when he was a kid. Like he went through some like dark, and he was just telling the whole story on the show. And I was like, damn, is he really saying all this shit? Multiple times I had him speak up on this, and he was getting emotional. It was rough, man. It was rough. I should have handled it like Theo Von. Look, this guy's talking about the hole in his gum. Look, watch this.
I think
Watch Theo's face.
it's one of the hard things that people don't understand, like trauma, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes it just comes out.
Oh, no, dude. Like, I remember
Get ready.
I have a hole in my gum.
I'm sorry. It's a horrible thing. But look at Theo. Oh my God. That's Theo. I got a hole in my gum, and there's Theo. He's like, huh? Like Scooby-Doo when he's shocked about something. Wow, you found a picture of Sean's. Is that a troll thing, or is it a real picture?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to scratch my gum, and I have a hole in my gum.
It's fucked up. As soon as he said he had a hole in his gum, I knew where this is going. I was like, damn, bro, man. It's crazy, huh?
No,
Just from being nervous and stuff?
nah, just anxiety, you know? Yeah, even to this day. Yeah. I mean, the day, dude, like, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't give a fuck. I mean, you could post this. I don't care.
Oh, commendable that Sean said that. Post it. I don't give a shit. I honestly think this, and this is what I told Jesse. I think that Sean Strickland wanted this to eventually happen. I said it to Jess before. This looks like the Will Smith crying to Jada Pinkett Smith. I think he has been screaming for help ever since he got into the UFC, right? And then when he won the championship, he's like, this belt means nothing. Like, I don't give a shit about this belt. He has been waiting for the moment to just finally have the platform where he can just fucking let it go. Release it all from him, you know? And I'm hoping that this is something that, you know, because he probably did need this. I'm hoping that this therapeutical session that happened on Theo Von's podcast, I'm hoping that this is the weight lifted off of him, you know, and he can have closure. I don't know if that's the case. He's probably going to need to still speak to someone that's a professional, but I think he's been screaming for help for a while. All the controversial shit that he's been saying, his hard views in a certain direction, you know, making fun of people. Like, all he does is go around and make fun of people, right? He just roasts people. And it's funny as hell, man. Like, it really is. Like, I love watching his press conferences. I love watching his interviews. I think he's hilarious. I really do. I think he's raw. I think he's real. But he's been screaming for help for a while. And here he is, finally, at that stage where he breaks, the final scream thrown out there on the Theo Von podcast.
I don't care.
Oh, dude, I don't have any.
No, it's all good, dude. I mean, it is what it is, dude. Like, it is what it is. Like, people understand. Like, when I talk about, like, oh, I'd kill a man, it's like, you don't understand, dude. Like, when you go through that level of trauma, like, you just view the world differently, you know? So it's like, I have a hole in my gum because I'd have so much anxiety as a kid, and I would just scratch my gum until, like, I mean, just blood, you know? And, you know, you're in pre-elementary school. You don't know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking A. I mean, I remember, like suicide, you know? Like, you don't even know what suicide is when you're a kid. When you're really talking about suicide, like being a little kid, like laying in bed, like just, like, man, I'm done with this shit. You know, like, there can't be a God.
That makes me sad.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Every time he brings up God, this is fascinating. I always have this thing with God. I am like I said, I'm a free agent. I was brought up Catholic. So, you know, I was like force-fed that nonsense. And then, you know, now I'm just kind of open and I'm cool with, like Connor used to say, I'm cool with all the gods. Like, I'm cool with it, man. Like, I'm cool with people finding religion to help them, this and that. But this is the second time he brought up God and he broke down. Second time he brought up God and broke down. So it's almost like he's like screaming now for another way, you know, another direction, another path, another way to just kind of soften the blow of the trauma from the past. You know, maybe he does need to find religion in some way. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's so fascinating just as a spectator watching this whole scenario, watch a man who's very strong on the mic, on interviews, as a champion, just break. It's crazy. Thumping his Bible. Yeah, you know, I'm the furthest thing. But Jesse's religious. My wife's religious, and she comes from a religious family. My father-in-law is like a preacher. You know, like I said, I'm a free agent. You know, anyone want to draft me? Maybe one day I'll jump in. We got Sonosi coming in with a wonderful, wonderful too.
It's the main event of 297. Strickland gets a rear naked choke on DDPTO win but isn't letting go. Refs are trying to pull him off. He letting out a blood-curdling scream. Security. Both teams and Bruce Buffer are trying to save the African from death.
Boy, would I love to see that, man. Thank you, Sonosi. Thank you guys for the donations. And shout out to Backa Beyond. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Jesus is the only way. What about all the other religions, bro? You just gonna ignore them? How dare you? What did Little Seal do, by the way? I didn't see him do anything bad. Why was the Little Seal slander? What's going on here? If you're an anti-God, I wouldn't be surprised. That's why you spend your evening. What's going on? Leave that fat guy out of this chat. No one likes that guy. Get him out of here. Shaw was really insecure before fighting Izzy and then beat the ever-loving crap out of him. It's so true, man. I don't. What do you mean by really insecure, though? About what? I told Sean to grow. He told Sean to grow. Grow up, you crybaby. Here's the rest of the interview. Where is it? Hold on. Let me see. I got. Grow a pair, Sean. I saw in the chat, Vietnamese style said something, and we love Vietnamese style. He's a great MMA hole. I saw him put there like all these thumbnails. You know, I would love to see. I'm paraphrasing something about like if Sean ran into you in the street, it's like, bro, it's not that fucking serious. This is a man who has literally run around and shit on so many people, and I'm a Sean Strickland fan. I still am a fan, and I respect him shedding his emotions here. But I'm hoping that he understands now he has to be responsible for his words as well, right? I mean, like, you just can't go around saying whatever the fuck you want and then saying, no, you can't say that. It's a very hypocritical thing to do. You know, you can't do that. Sean is like gloves off. Anything's a go, and now all of a sudden he's got rules. Now he's like, no. Well, hold on a second. I could shit on religion. I could shit on this. I could shit on that. But you can't shit on wives. But I made fun of Ian Gary's wife. You can't. Like, it's ridiculous. You know, so there is a hypocritical side to this, and I'm not here to just fillet Sean Strickland. You know, I'm celebrating his accomplishments. I'm saying that he's a good human being. I truly believe that. But there is a hypocritical side to this, so I'm hoping this is a complete learning experience. Probably not, but I'm hoping it is.
What's up, dude?
No, it just makes me sad that a kid has to feel that way, you know?
Yeah, so like
Any kid.
whenever Dreykus goes on there and like he jokes about that shit.
Right.
It's like, dude, you have no idea.
But do you have an idea about fags? Do you have an idea about the dead girl that died that you made fun of and said no one would be talking about her? Maybe you're telling the truth, and you probably were, but that girl has a family. Do you not care about that? Do you not care about Ian Gary and his family? And yes, Ian Gary's a fucking turd with herpes. Yeah, I get it. But do you not care about that kid that they have? You know, he took the wife's name, you know, as a middle name. He just took the wives, not the ex. Like, you're running around spreading lies about Ian Gary. You know what I'm saying? That is the problem here. And I am so glad that I just don't have a team. You know what I'm saying? This is why I love the UFC. Because with my Giants, with my Rangers, my Detroit Pistons, my Mets, my team sports, I live and die on that hill. And I become biased. I got the horse blinders on. But with the UFC, I have friends in the game that I do defend. I would always defend my friends. But for these athletes, I root for them, I cheer for them, I like them, but I could also criticize them. I could also do that. Pistons rule. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I love watching the UFC. A fighter I love loses, well, I just move on. I don't care. Like, I'm like the night of, I'm like, well, that sucked. You know, but then I move on. You know, it's great. It's a very emotional sport because the lead up, you're really rooting for a specific individual. You want them to do well. They fail. You're like, oh, that sucks. Then you move on. You know? And in this situation, I see both sides of it with Sean Strickland.
Yeah, I mean, and this is like, as a comedian, you got to joke about trauma. Like, people think like I joke about all this shit. Like, you know, as we're laughing, like, you got to joke about it. If you don't, like, how do you process that? You know, how do you process that kind of abuse?
It's true. It's so true. And he goes on saying, you know, the rules of what you can and can't do. People have a hard rule that you cannot make fun of religion. He's made fun of religion, right? Like, people have a hard thing that says you can't do wives, you can't do kids, you can't do religion, but yet they say things that go against other people's beliefs that they have a hard, you can't align where you can't go past that line, right? And then he says, which doesn't make any sense, like you should laugh at things and blah, blah, blah. Well, you got to laugh. It's very important. It's very important. You got to laugh. Or if someone is toxic in a way where you know what he should have done with DDP? When DDP said that thing about his dad, you know what Sean should have done? He should have just got off the stage. Like, fuck off. I'm out of here. Just walked off the stage. He could have just left. He could have left the press conference and said, I'm not going to deal with this fucking idiot. And just left. Nate Diaz does it. People just get up and leave. That is the most appropriate way to handle an asshole. If you don't like what someone's doing, you can click off a YouTube channel. If you don't like what someone's doing, you could literally remove yourself from the room. Now, if you're getting raped, you can't really leave. You're stuck there, right? You can't go. He's not getting raped. He could leave. You got to walk away. You have to walk away. Whether you're in a relationship, you're with a toxic human being, you walk away. You leave. That's the best way to handle a situation like that. But in his mind, I'm going to beat the fuck out of this guy. If everyone thought that way, that, oh, you have to be responsible for your words because I'm going to beat you up. If everyone thought, we're not monkeys, we're human beings, we're supposedly evolved. That's what you got to do. That's how you got to handle this shit. I'm curious to see after this. I think Sean's still going to have the edge. I still think he's going to have the chip on his shoulder. The most fascinating thing about this is how is he going to perform at UFC 297? That is the interesting. That is the big question right now. And Dana White sitting in his fucking hot tub over here. By the way, I got to skip all this shit. Like, talk about trash. Let me skip this. Jedi Goodman, thank you. So Dana White's sitting over here in this beautiful place. You know, you have to think that Dana White is like, holy crap, this is amazing. These guys are just selling the shit out of this fight. Right? You got to think that that's what's going on with the big boss. Because if I'm a businessman, if I run this business, I mean, these guys are like Sean Strickland, DDP have sold the fuck out of a card that is co-main event with Raquel Pennington and Bueno Silva, whatever the hell. I don't even know what Blanca's name is. I have no idea. Is it Bueno Silva? What the hell's her name? The Brazilian? They're selling the shit out of that card because of all this stuff. You know? It's great for business. So I want to know in the chat what you guys think. Is this going to affect Sean in the fight? Is this going to make him do better? Do worse? Is he fucked? Can he afford getting beaten in the head even more than he already is? I mean, like, he probably has some sort of CTE. It's got to be there. Like, he always jokes about it. But I think any fighter that gets... I mean, look at how he spars. Look at how he trains. Like, the man is pedal to the metal no matter what. He's getting clipped inside the gym. Probably more he's getting clipped inside the octagon. You know, so I think Sean Strickland, you know, I'm hoping that this is a wake-up call for him, and I hope that he does find the peace, the closure, the help that he truly deserves. And I do fear, you know, what's for his future. Like how long do you want to stay in this game where you're taking repetitive hits to the head? I mean, what the fuck did his dad hit him with? I'm sure he's got CTE from being a kid. I'm sure his dad was not easy on him. His brother apparently was really hard on him. You know, his brother had to raise him, and he was only 3 years older than him. You know, so shit, man. It's a crazy story. Uh-oh. Triggered. Pale Monkey dropping a 4. Let's go.
You see how much weight Paddy has already put on.
Yeah.
What about Vettori versus Allen? That fight could be fire.
Very good fight, right? So much on the line for Marvin Vettori. So much on the line for him in that fight. And Allen's just surging up. He looks great. That's a good fight. Solid fight over there. Looking very much forward to that. Thank you, Pale Monkey, for the donation. All right, so let me get some final comments on the Sean Strickland thing. We've wasted about an hour on him. You know, I think that's fair, but I want to know your thoughts in the chat. Thank you so much for the donations, guys. Really appreciate it. But let me know in the chat, what do you guys think? Sean Strickland, the whole situation, the Theo Von podcast. Do you think, I just want to know your thoughts. People making fun of Sean being abused as a child, but if you can see the difference between Strickland's truth towards cuckolds, Jesus Christ, who are fully accountable, dating whores. What are you even saying, dude? Like, you're just writing paragraphs of nonsense. Dude, how retarded are you, man? King Terzi, like, dude, like, what is wrong with you? Just change your name to retard. Like, I don't know. Like, you just keep on writing weird shit. A good victory, and everyone will forget. It's true. That is true. Khamzat shit. We're going to move into Khamzat next. I just keep on seeing this fucking guy spam in the chat of just nonsense. Like, does he even know what he's saying? All this shit should have came out after retirement. I respect everything about it, but hard to look at him the same now, similar to Volk. Interesting. Let me ask you this, guys. All right? Do you think differently of Sean Strickland? Do you think differently from him now? Because Lil Seal apparently, like, he's got a different perspective of Sean. You know, maybe, like, he basically spoke shit and then says, hey, I'm sorry, guys. You know, it's my dad fucked me up as a kid, so that's why I say these things. Like, he would always say something and then finish it with how his dad beat the shit out of him, right? Over and over and over and over again. That's what Sean's bit was. So I could kind of understand how there is, and I'm not one of them, but I can kind of understand where those people are coming from. Like, okay, bro, you've been saying this forever. Now you cry on a podcast, I'm supposed to feel something. Like, I can understand that perspective. I am not on that side of the fence, but I get it. I totally get it. Let me know. One's in the chat if you actually are on that side of the fence. It's like, bro, I mean, how long do we got to put up with this shit? Go get help. You know, some people probably like just fucking go to therapy. Get help. I wish one of these teammates would reach out to him and give him some help because he wouldn't do it. Yeah, hopefully. I'm sure guys like Chris Curtis probably said, bro, get help. I'm sure Curtis has said that. I think differently about him showing his mental trauma from his childhood as some of us do. Yeah, I'm sure there are people in our live chat that have dealt with some of the most horrific shit. We've had DMs from people telling us stories that I wouldn't even repeat. I'll never repeat those stories. I mean, it's really fucked up, man. People go through some hard stuff. There might be people that said, Sean, hold my beer. I got a story for you that could completely make Sean's story nothing, and probably have fuck off to this guy. You got to get help, man. You got it, man. If you've gone through some serious trauma, get help. A drink Monster, it helps you get in touch with your feminine side. I feel like Strickland past trauma is like a double-edged sword. It could motivate him, but if he loses, that could send him on a downhill spiral. Yeah, we was speaking about that before. If he loses this fight, just say DDP beats the shit out of him. I'm going to go back to William Knight. William Knight. How many people remember William Knight? Big, strong, muscular black guy. A lot of people shit on him because especially his last fight, he didn't even show up. This guy was literally molested as a kid. This guy, when he fought, the beginning of the rounds, the beginning of the fight, he would literally get beat up like really bad and then come back and then finish his opponent, right? And I asked him on our show, I said, do you think that you are looking to get beat up, looking to get abused because it's something from your past? When you were in those situations, do you like to bring yourself to that point in order to be able to be victorious at the end? And he's like, he started tearing up and he agreed. He's like, that could be it. I think, man, if you have mental health issues, which a lot of these UFC fighters have dealt with past trauma, especially the female fighters, like what girl just wakes up and says, I want to be a fighter. I want to be locked in a cage in my underwear and I want to beat up another girl. Like, nothing against female UFC fighters, but what girl just grows up and says, I want to do that? Now, I can understand, guys, we got the testosterone flowing. We like to beat people up. I kind of get it with dudes. We got this macho bravado. Hey, we're locked in a cage. Like, it's like a coliseum. People are yelling and screaming. But with the girls, I mean, I feel like there's got to be some trauma. There's got to be something that got you to that point where now you're a UFC fighter, right? And I'm not trying to be sexist. I just think, I'm sure if they did a study on this, I'm sure it would back my point. So when you see these guys that have these pasts and these backgrounds, it makes you wonder, man, like, is this right? Is this right for these athletes? Like, should there be some sort of psychological test? Should the UFC not only have these guys go through physicals, but through some sort of mental therapy to be cleared before they compete in a cage in their underwear in front of a bunch of people? If Sean Strickland goes in there and gets battered by this man, like, what's going to happen? How does that look? And I'm sure this is not just in the UFC. I'm sure it's in boxing and any other combat sport out there. I'm sure, the same could be said. No therapy is a joke. Listen, I am in the perspective too where I believe therapy works, but I also believe you have to be receptive to the therapy, right? I am not a very receptive person to therapy, but I am open to the idea of it. And if I do hit rock bottom, which, it could happen, then yeah, therapy could be a thing for myself as well, right? I'm sure therapy would fix a lot. It's weird to say, okay, put your eggs in this stranger's basket and let that stranger fix you. That is a weird thing. I get it. I totally understand the other side of the story with therapy, and I don't want to fucking go down that road. But we'll touch on it here. I get the resistance to it. But if you got the shit kicked out of you as a kid for many years, you are a white supremacist, and you should be dead, and somehow you're still alive, and you're still fucking dealing with these demons, you need help. Probably not the best idea to get locked in a cage and suffer brain damage. Look at these guys that had CTE and killed their whole fucking family. All you need is the wrong fucking shot to the head, and next thing you know, you're offing people. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. So, listen, I follow a sport where people beat the shit out of each other. I want to see people hurt as bad as possible. I love it. I love seeing people get knocked out. I love carnage. I love it. But I also love life as well, and I don't want to see people just go down these rabbit holes and just ruin their lives. I don't. It's sad to see a guy that's a UFC champion and looks at the belt and hits the things that people dream of and looks at him like, fuck this thing. That's fucking brain damage right there. That's brain damage. CTE is an easy scapegoat. Oh my God. Yeah, let's just brush past that. Happens at the NFL all the time. I agree. Yeah, people getting concussions, all of a sudden they're not the same person anymore. You know? Listen, I'm not a doctor. I don't have all the answers. But MMA-Holes is your therapy. It's my therapy too as well. Awandi, it is. It is my therapy. Most dudes have a little CT. Probably. I could agree with that. A lot of trauma happens before 7 years old. It's technically brain damage. You know what, Two Joints? You're right. You know, having kids, and Jesse's gone down this rabbit hole, there are certain things that you think, they're a kid, they'll get past it, like that are fucking traumatic. A circumcision. Think about this. A circumcision is something that actually has a long-lasting effect mentally. It's actually a proven study that if you circumcise a child, kids are more likely to be fucked up. Just put a snip of the cock, you know? It's kind of crazy, man. It's a weird thing. So these little things, kids screaming and crying in the bed, or, you know, they bump their head falling down the stairs. You think they're fine. Years down the road, they got fucking brain damage. You don't know. Like, it's weird, man. There are little things. Think about this, and then we'll move on to Khamzat Chimaev and get out of the mental shit, okay? If you reward a kid with fucking candy and cake, you are literally setting up that kid's life to be a fat, depressed fuck. It's the truth. It's the God's honest truth, and I feel so guilty when I have to bribe my kid with a candy bar, and that is literally setting my kid up as they get older to be like, I'm going to run to the fucking fridge, because I do that. When I get depressed, what do? I run to the fridge and I look for the biggest piece of cake. That's what I do. You know, so like little things can lead to fucked up things down the road. My vasectomy trauma has ruined me. I had a traumatic experience with my vasectomy. That is true. Going over to Gummy Gang where I told that story. All right, now I'm going to move on. We got to move on to Khamzat, okay? I'm not going to be here all night being your therapist. That's not my job. But Sean Strickland, he cried on Theo Von. If you missed it, run it back. Khamzat Chimaev, could you believe that that's him? Take a look at this thumbnail picture. Let me know, yes or no, do you believe that is Khamzat Chimaev? Let me know in the chat. Snip, snip, snip. Stopping myself from going to get ice cream right now. Don't do it, Justin. Willpower, baby. You should do a therapy show once a week. Go to Gummy Gang, man. Go to Gummy Gang. You can get me talking about this shit for hours. I've been on this earth long enough where I kind of have an idea. We pay you in, are you saying donations? This is therapy? I mean, it is. This chat was this whole damn show 7 years ago was started because my life was off the rails. No joke. That's really, realistically, I escaped all my demons and started this fucking channel. That's the God's honest truth. And it's been the best blessing in my life. I think Khamzat has chronic health issues that he's covering up. I think he has been doing his best to hang on. I think he knows his time is limited. I think you are 100% correct. I completely agree. Khamzat Chimaev just keeps on coming up with these crazy illnesses, right? Great chat or greatest chat ever? Both. Chat's the best. We got the best chat in the biz, right? Applaud yourselves in the chat over here.
Wonderful.
No, but to the point of what that person said in the chat, I completely agree, and that's the route I was going to go down. I think there's something going on with Khamzat. There's something not right. What is this? Like, he actually deleted this tweet, but what's going on here with Khamzat? And we saw the thing with COVID, too, where he was all messed up. He was literally fighting people every other week. He would take on anybody. Dana White throws him in front of him. I'll smash. And then he starts fighting higher level opponents, and he's not quite smashing anymore, but he's winning. He's still winning. He's still undefeated. And then he just keeps on popping up with these weird illnesses. like injuries or like what is this? The dude's got oxygen on his face. He's got freaking I don't know. He looks like he should be selling fucking like old boom boxes in Manhattan. Please, I give you a nice price. Like that's what he looks like right there. This doesn't look like Khamzat Chimaev. He's got this brace. So he puts a post out and it says, let's see. And here's him now. So he's good now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, he looks way better now, way more healthy now. But fucking hell, man. Like, what is going on with this guy? His health, he just completely, when he gets sick, like he was coughing up, he got COVID, and my man's like coughing up blood. I don't know anyone, I mean, I've known people that died, but I don't know anyone that's just coughing up blood. I mean, coughing up blood, what?
Feel good. Coming back.
My face is back to normal.
On my belts.
So that's his response to the post, the follow-up post to this, right? Khamzat Chimaev posted and deleted a picture of himself saying he was very sick. I want to see what, they don't have the quote of the post. What kind of article is this? This is the first time Chimaev has endured serious health issues. Chimaev contracted COVID-19 in late 2020 and suffered lingering effects of the virus that resulted in his hospitalization. The struggle to recover and impact his lungs even had Chimaev contemplating retirement after he was forced to withdraw from a second booking with current UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards in March of 2021. So now he's saying he's coming back soon for his belt. I have a feeling, I got to be honest with you, I have a feeling this guy's going to, if he can find a way to a belt and win a belt, I don't think we're seeing this man defend. I think he will retire early. I do. It's sad because the Khamzat train was fun. You know, so I'm going to smash everybody. And then now there's a softer version of him, which I like even more. Khamzat gets on the mic and he speaks his mind about kids are dying with the war and stuff like that. But I just like the way he said it. And, you know, now we're finding a more sensitive Khamzat. And I think he's going to find a way to the belt and he's just going to vanish. I think that's what's going to happen. But let me know what you guys think about Chimaev. Will he even fight for a belt? Do you think there's something even more going on with Khamzat behind the scenes that he's not letting people know? Like, what is the deal with Khamzat Chimaev?
Aw, super chat.
Everybody just needs booty hole hamsters.
What? Booty hole hamsters? Is that what you're saying? Thank you. Homie needs his ass beat. I mean, now you got the Bo Nickel train. So, you know, that whole smash everybody Khamzat situation. I don't know how long we're going to see that thing last. I don't know if he's going to, I mean, I was in. I'm still kind of in, man. I want to see Khamzat do well. I like him. But I just don't know. I don't know what to think anymore about Khamzat because his body is just not cooperating with him. The guy's a beast. You know, if this guy stays healthy, I think he's a real problem. I really do. I think at 2 weight classes, he could be a problem. If he was able to get down, who knows, maybe the cutting at 170 fucked him up. I don't know. But now he's a little, you know, he's at middleweight. We'll see what happens with Khamzat. But let me know in the chat. Khamzat Chimaev, final thoughts, and then we'll move on from that. He'd smash Bo Shavkat, question marks. Are they the same weight class? Shavkat is welterweight. But Shavkat's pretty big. I don't know. Maybe Shavkat could put on some pounds and move up. I did want to see Shavkat and Khamzat at 170, but that's probably never going to happen. Bo Nicole. He be another Zabit. Yeah, right? Like, whatever. Someone on Twitter or X just put in Zabit on one of our posts, or maybe it was on our community post. I don't know. Yeah, fans still love him. I don't know what's going on with Zabit. He was supposed to come back. Shut black hole chat smells cause you open your, I don't know what the fuck are you saying. Y'all, Bo Nickel gonna smash a wall. What are we saying? A hole? Is that what you're saying? A whole lot of people? Yeah, I think he could be a problem. I really do. But yeah, they're bringing on very slow, you know. I think they're doing the right thing. I'm still excited for Khamzat's career. I hope so, man. I hope we get excited. I hope he could stay healthy and do some things because he is fun. Khamzat got covered, fingered from Bilal, and pimp of kidnapping. Forget the country crimes. What the fuck? Adverse effect from the jab. Did he get the jab? I don't know if he did. I don't know. But I'm not going to fucking go down that road. But I am open to all thoughts. I am open to the severity of COVID. I am open to the jab being not so good. I'm open to it all. I don't have a side. I don't know what to believe. It's pretty nuts. It's all good. These nuts. The pimp of kidnapping. Khamzat fought Usman at middleweight, didn't he? Yes. Yeah. Kamaru didn't look bad. Some people thought Kamaru won that fight. That's a tough one to read. Half the MMA fans are illiterates. Nah, I think a lot of people are talking to text. You know, a lot of times your phone like autocorrects and puts the wrong word in there. That happens a lot. And I'm a terrible reader, so. Didn't he break his hand on the Usman fight? Yeah, I think so. That's what he's showing in the picture over there. But, man, I'm looking forward to, seeing Khamzat do well. I hope he does do well. Let's move on to Dana White here. Dana White, so, and by the way, this show looked horrible. I didn't watch it. Is there anything that came out of this that's did they have any guess? It doesn't look like it. But let me know if there's anything to talk about with that. I stopped watching the MMA Hour a little while back, but Jedi Goodman clips him nicely. Okay, so here's Dana White. Let's see what he's got to say. Maybe a little 300 stuff. Look at this.
BJ, what's happening, brother?
Look at Dana.
I'm just firing up here, letting you guys know.
You think he's high right now? Wizzo, what's up, everybody? I'm by the pool, just beat the shit out of my wife. And I got some announcements for you. But no, this is like Stone Dana. I like this Dana.
Right now.
Got Nina drama under the camera.
Available on Rumble.
The oil up is definitely flying in the chat, no doubt.
Power Slap Road to the title starts right now. Rap, yes. UFC 300.
He does look high, right? He's got to be high.
Everybody's waiting for that. I'm on vacation. I get home Sunday.
Dude, I want to go to this place. Where is he?
And so I get home Sunday. Tuesday is matchmaking. And I'll start ripping off some fights for 300.
Okay, so Tuesday's matchmaking. So listen, Conor put that announcement out there about June, International Fight Week. It's not confirmed. It's not done. We still have no idea if Conor's really coming back. We still really don't know. I think he will come back this year. I do. I mean, we have a whole year to get him in. But it still bothers me that he's not on the 300 card, because if you put him on the 300 card, you have a big situation, big events, spectacle, circus, and then you could probably get him back in maybe one more. Like if he goes in there and somehow gets his hand raised, he's unscathed, and then he fights one more time before the year is up, like that's fun. But, I guess the UFC is trying to save him maybe for another event to kind of double dip, have the UFC 300 be a big event, which I honestly think it's going to bomb. I do, because I don't know what the fuck champion, I don't know what you're going to put together that's going to blow our mind. Unless there's people, I don't know. I honestly, we've done throughout the last couple of weeks, we've been matchmaking UFC 300. I have not found a strong, solid main event that I'm like, oh, this is going to blow my mind. I haven't found it yet. How is his face so smooth? I don't know. Yeah, it's a movie magic.
Making some announcements. Maybe I'll do one while I'm here. But
so he's like, maybe I'll throw an announcement while I'm here. So next Tuesday, when he gets back, he's going to start matchmaking. So probably by the end of next week, we're going to hear some more juicy matchups for 300. But we also need to have 297 happen. And 297's when? Because you never know. They might be able to turn around Strickland quick. If he wins, ride the mental ill train. Hold on a second. So when is 297? That is January 20th. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. We're not going to get a main event for a while. We'll probably get a main event announcement beginning of February. Yeah. That's my prediction. Yeah, I think this rest of this month is a wash. I don't think we're gonna get a main event announcement for 300 until sometime in February, because I think they're gonna want to see what happens with this fight over here. You know, because now you have options if Strickland wins or DDP wins. Both guys, you have interesting. Like if you do like DDP versus Adesanya main event for UFC 300, that's a banger. If you do Adesanya versus Pereira at light heavy, I'm gonna say I don't care. I just don't give a shit. I'm sorry. We've seen them fight a bunch of times. I don't know, man. Like I just need some space from the Izzy Pereira thing. You know, I don't need to see it. I'd rather see DDP versus Izzy. I'd rather see that. I'd even rather see maybe even Izzy rematch Strickland. You know? Or if Khamzat is healthy, Khamzat versus Strickland. You know, I'd rather see that. John Jones, no, he's not going to be ready unless they pull one out. I still think that they're gonna have some tricks, some old. Like I've been getting a lot of heat for putting these community polls up with guys that are retired, gals that are retired, you know, inactive fighters. What is this? 10 years ago? What is this? 15 years ago? What kind of poll is this? It's the 300th anniversary. It's supposed to be nostalgic. I did a whole goddamn stream on that. I still think there's going to be a fight on this card that's going to really tickle our nostalgia and be out of left field. I hope. We'll see.
What's up, Trey? Yes. Power slap.
Let me know in the chat. Here we go, power slap. Let me know in the chat, like what right now is a logical main event that makes sense that gets your dick hard for 300. I don't know what main event could do it unless they just have 3 title fights in a row and just bank it on, hey, we got 3 title fights. They may not be the best. I mean, you can't tell me it's Leon versus Bilal. You know, maybe, I don't know. Masvidal, apparently that got nixed. He's not coming on 300, but you never know.
Road to the title.
Poirier, Diaz. Diaz supposedly is not on 300. Supposedly, but you never know. Poirier, Diaz is a main event. No. I would love that on the card, but main event? Leon Islam? You know what? You got me. I can take that. Yeah, I could do that. Who said that? Jacob, we've been screaming about Leon Islam for a while now. But we haven't put it on 300. I'm with you with that. I like that. That's probably the best you're going to do right now. There it is. That's the one. I did hear Bilal is he's going to Dagestan. He's going with the neckbeards again. He's going to fucking go hardcore. Dude, Bilal's going to be a champ. He's going to be a fucking champion, man. It's inevitable.
Available. The new episode's going up right now on Rumble.
He doesn't even give it. He looks like he doesn't even give a shit about Power Slap anymore. Like it looks like it's kind of like he's over it too.
Available. The new episode.
Bilal does deserve it. I agree. I actually don't have the hatred for Bilal that a lot of people have, just from my limited experience. And he follows us on X. So hey, you follow us on X, I'm good with you now. But listen, is he the most exciting guy? No, but he does deserve it. His resume speaks for itself.
Episode's going up right now on Rumble.
It's going on right now on Rumble. If you give a shit. If Khabib returns, which I feel like is an impossibility. I was just watching Imagine curveball. You want curveball? Khabib McGregor too. Could you fucking imagine? That just comes out of left field. One of the biggest nights of my life. Back again, UFC 300. Bro, all the crying leading up, I would be like, what? It doesn't make sense, but yeah, make it happen. Run it back. But yeah, yes, Khabib's not coming back. So I'm not even going to entertain it.
How's the new year starting for you guys? Good? Bad? What's going on? Brazil. What's up, Brazil?
Is he falling asleep? What is he doing? This is fucking boring as hell. I think I retweeted this too. I probably shouldn't have. All right. Thank you, Dana. All right, so what else we got here in the news? Any other topics you want to get to before I wind this thing down? If you're just jumping in, Jedi's the man. This guy, he clips some good shit. I did speak about the Sean Strickland thing ad nauseum for an hour straight, okay? I gave kind of both sides of the opinion. I think I was fair on both sides. Let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay what you thought of my assessment, whether you agreed or disagree. It's all good. Just let me know about down below. But anything else you guys want to chat with before I move on? Let's see. To Angel Gotti. Okay, here's the major. So there was mention of this earlier. Major middleweight fight, which is the what's his name? Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. A lot on the line for both guys. More for Vettori. Dude can't really afford to lose anymore. So Marvin Vettori bounces back against Allen. Give me your quick picks in the chat. Like who? Like if you're just gonna say, okay, the fight's gonna happen tomorrow, who wins? Vettori or Allen? I think I'm leaning towards Allen. Dude, Allen's look great. He looks so fucking good. But let me know right now in the chat. Span it. Allen Vettori, Allen Vettori. I'm leaning towards Allen. I would imagine Allen's gonna be the favorite. We got the knitter coming in. High Holes, the naughty knitter TTs jumping in over here. We made her song last night on Gummy Gang. Must subscribe to our second channel for this. You can get shit like this. Hands in the chat. Put the TTs in the chat. I see Allen. I see Vettori. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Knitter cans. Come on. TT's in the chat. Yeah. Thank you very much. There's another one too. This is what we do on our second channel. We get high. We make songs. It's another song for the knitter in the chat. Drop the tits. Come on.
Naughty, naughty, naughty,
Naughty, naughty,
naughty,
naughty.
Let me hug on them love ya. Let me hug on them love ya. Let me squeeze ya. Let me tease.
Let's go. Back and beyond, thank you for stopping by. Welcome to the channel.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do it.
Jones crying was worse. Theo is the best therapist. 100, 100, 100. The problem with Bella is that he's boring AF. The UFC is a business. Lastly, Khamzat Chimaev came hard like a cum shot and then done as a cum shot. Like a bad relationship gave us highs and lows.
Thank you, D-Man, for the $2 donation. Thank you, guys and gals. Appreciate you. Theo is a very good therapist. Bella, I tell you what, his fight against, what's his name? Oh, what the hell's his name? The fucking guy with all the tattoos. Looks like a Ninja Turtle. I can't remember his name right now. The grappler. Helped me out. He finished him. Some people said it was a quick stop. That was actually pretty fire. Listen, I know the majority of Bilal's work, not the most exciting. Sean Brady, thank you. I couldn't think of it. Not the most exciting resume. But he deserves it. I don't want to see him headline 300 though. That's just no thank you. Didn't McGregor announce his fight with Chandler on UFC Fight Week? He did, and we did a whole stream on that. If you missed it, D's N, go to our last stream. We literally spent the entire time talking about a good full hour on that. But Cliff Notes could be just bullshit. Nothing's confirmed. Nothing's set in stone. He might have leaked the news without the UFC doing it, but I doubt it. I don't believe it. And you still could argue that he could be on 300. You could argue that he might not ever come back. You could argue that he might be back at the end of this year. You don't know who he's really fighting. It's just him drunk trolling the internet, and it was hilarious. But you can't believe anything unless it's official from the big boss. You can't. The contract's got to be signed, and it's got to be announced, signed, sealed, delivered from the UFC. So, a lot of people just take it as gospel, man. It's weird. Like their favorite fighter throws something online, their favorite media outlet throws it out there, and people just believe it. It's weird. Like doing this for 7 years, don't believe shit unless it's completely locked in. Unless the paperwork signed. And even then, you just never know because injuries and shit like that. But just trust me on this, guys. If your favorite show says it, it's most likely a theory or it's speculation or whatever. If your favorite fighter says same thing. Jake Paul leaks Masvidal comeback opponent after, oh, fucking hell. He's going to be, so Masvidal put up a thing that he's unretired, and this actually popped up right before we went live on our last stream, and then he deleted it. So right off the bat, we're like, oh shit, he's gonna be on 300. The UFC's panicking, and they're just trying to get big names on the card and yada yada yada. It could have just been a move where he's going to boxing, very likely. He could be like doing a Jake Paul fight or some shit like that. So I don't know. What do you guys in the chat think? Like, what is the most logical solution? Like a matchup, I should say, not solution. Matchup for George. What do you think is going to happen with Masvidal? Man, the more I think about it, Ben Askren threw his name in the hat. I got to be honest with you. Let me say this. I'm going to throw it out there. I want to see Ben Askren come out of retirement for UFC 300 and fight George. Not as the main event, of course. That's ridiculous. But if Ben Askren comes back and somehow just smothers Masvidal and embarrasses George and gets back the W from the flying knee, and now George is stuck with that stupid tattoo on his fucking shoulder. George is stuck with this thing, and Askren redeems himself. I kind of want that up. Or Masvidal can go in there and just knock his head off again. Very possible. Very, very possible. But call me crazy. Throw that on there. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's really nothing at stake. But, George, if you do, feel like it wasn't just a lucky knee that landed, I mean, then run it back. I'd be all over that. I would be absolutely all over that. But let me know what you think in the chat. Would you want to see that? Would you care? I know people, criticizing me saying, why you want all these old, washed up, retired people to compete again? Listen, I don't even want George to come back, to be honest. I don't give a fuck about Masvidal at all. I don't give a fuck about Ben Askren, to be honest with you. But you put them together, well, now I'm interested. We saw it happen. We saw the flying knee. You saw the tattoo on the shoulder. Well, run it back. Let's see. Is Masvidal going to knock him out again? Or is Askren going to smother him and squish him like he squishes those watermelons? Let's see what you guys got to say. Bruce Buffer just tweeted out a fight poster. Let's see. Well, Bruce Buffer's not one to leak news. Actually, we're due to get the Buff back on. I wonder if Bruce is going to still do our show after we had that whole Sean Strickland thing go on. Never heard from him from that. 7 minutes ago. Finally, it's time. What is he doing here? All right, so Bruce, here we go. Here's Bruce Buffer. Finally, it's time. McGregor versus Chandler, Saturday 29th. Now, this is clearly not an official poster, but this is interesting. Why is Bruce Buffer putting this thing out there? Very strange. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so that's that. By the way, this is just as realistic as this poster that was released. I don't know if you guys saw this. UFC 300, there's speculation that Peter Griffin will be fighting Conor McGregor, so there you go with that, too. Just saying. I'm just saying, that's a real poster as well. So, anything's possible. Anything's possible.
That's why I wanted a fan, a sold-out crowd to walk out that tunnel, blow the roof off this place, and look over and see my son like, wow, Dad, that's you. And see the look on his face, wow, Dad. Wow, Dad.
You make me feel so proud. daddy cowboy. Ha! Make me feel so proud.
Don't cry, guys. Don't cry. Don't be a Sean Strickland.
Ha! Don't cry, daddy cowboy. Don't cry. You're making me feel so proud.
You see the look on his face.
Daddy cowboy.
Wow, Dad. Fuck. Wow, Dad.
I have a question for you guys after this donation. Pal, thank you.
Did you see Olio's submission defense in his recent grappling match?
What, you mean the one where he lost and he was complaining? Is that what you're talking? Yes, I did see that. Thank you so much, Pale Monkey. Appreciate you. Let me ask you guys a question. There's a lot of UFC fighters that cry, and we have a recent one that we just covered tonight. Should we scrap Daddy Cowboy, make a new cry song? I'm getting sick of that song. Should we scrap Daddy Cowboy? You guys seem to like it, though. And then make a new donation song with a compilation of all UFC fighters crying. What do you think? What do you think in the chat? Let me know yes or no real quick in the chat. Let me throw that. I know a lot of people love Daddy Cowboy, but I got to be honest with you. My mom literally mutes the stream when that comes. So let me know. Let's see. Daddy Cowboy is timeless. I hate to get rid of a good country song, you know? Oh, okay. Let's see. Nah, it would have to be a little bit of a longer song if I'm gonna. By the way, the Ariel Helwani, I updated the GIFs in that. So if anyone drops an Ariel Helwani song, feel free to do that. The link's in the live chat. If anyone drops the Ariel Helwani song, there's a new compilation of GIFs that we've never played yet. So feel free to drop that puppy. A lot of no's. Some yeses. All right. Okay, smart mom. It drives me nuts too. I gotta be honest with you. It's definitely my least favorite donation, but it's hilarious that it pisses people off. So that I do enjoy. Pistons are in overtime, about to win a game. Oh man. All right. Figured I'd ask that. There was another way. Oh, so this AI movement that's going on here, I've been having way too much fun with this thing, and I've realized that you could put matchups, you could put posters together as long as you're clever with it. If you go over to our Discord, and there's a section over there, the merchandise section, where people are coming up with merchandise ideas. It's just me and Sausage, really. But everyone else is like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But there is a link to an AI thing that I've been way too obsessed with. There's so many opportunities and possibilities with content. If you guys make fake posters, please, whatever it could be the most bizarre matchups, drop it in our Discord tonight. Drop it right now, actually. If you got some time, go over there, click the link. I want to see your matchups in our Discord, and I'll choke. Maybe we'll even make a section of like fake MMA-Hole poster section. Actually, Sausage, would you be able to make that? Because you're a moderator over there. If you could make a section in Discord, maybe we'll just do that. I think that would be a fun section over there. Just posters. What's up, PC Strickland? Someone make the Sausage versus the Seal poster. I mean, we need some good posters here. The AI, dude, there's so much crap you can do. But yeah, throw it. When's that shirt going on the shop? You want this shirt? I'll fucking make it. I'll make it. Food copyright issues. I gotcha.
Aw, super chat.
Dude, I've been having way too much fun with that stuff.
It's gonna be Jorge versus Colby.
Dude, don't say that. I don't. Honestly, that doesn't even make any sense. People were putting it in our chat, and when Jorge announced he was coming back, why would anyone want to see just George get dominated again? You know, like I feel like that ship has totally sailed. But I don't know. Maybe people want to see that. I am definitely not on that train. Colby might never fight again. And thank you so much, Pyro Structure. Appreciate you. Look behind me. I got a plethora of trophies behind me. So you think Colby may never fight again? Yeah, we have a couple other posters here that we've dropped on. Here's another. Well, it's not a poster, but there's a Peter. So fucking stupid, man. Just so dumb. So dumb. All right. So I don't know. Jake Paul. I don't give a shit about him right now. Colby Cole, the cops. Covington got dropped by the first by George. All right, what else we got here? Let me see if there's anything else. You make me feel so proud. Someone said they dropped something in Discord. Let me just check real quick. Demand that shirt be made. Which one do you want? Like, dude, I mean, listen, I put an MMA-Holes Peter Griffin shirt out. Let me show you guys. Dude, I was laughing so hard. What about this shirt over here? Should this be our new logo? This AI is out of control, man. There it is. You want to make that shirt? So dumb, man. It's so fucking dumb. Captain Sausage. Oh, is this really Sean Strickland's dad? Obituary Strickland's. Is this really him? Come on. Is that true? So apparently, Sausage found Sean Strickland, the picture of Sean Strickland's dad. Wow, looks like a nice guy. I mean, he kind of has some. He's got a picture with him and a fish. You never could trust those guys, you know. I never trust the guy with a fish in his profile picture. You know, never could trust the guy with a big fish. I never understood that. Never understood that. But yeah, it's Sean's dad, I guess. I don't know. That's the guy that fucked up Sean. It's kind of weird looking at that. Let's see. Aljo's armbar defense. Oh, yeah. I did see this. Yeah, I did see that. All right, let's see what else we got. Anything else before I get out of here? You make me feel so proud. All right, I think I'm done. I don't think there's anything else I really want to cover. All right, guys. Hey, this is a great stream tonight. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Like I said, if you're creative, drop it in the Discord. Maybe we should do like shows around some of your art, your memes, your posters. Actually, you know what? Drop it in the meme section over there. We do have a meme section. Let me see if I can pull up some fun stuff. And we have a gift section. We have a meme section in our... Oh, here's a... did you know Sean Strickland was actually on Family Guy? The show Family Guy? Look at this. Sean was actually on that. There he is. Remember, guys, I want to hear your thoughts about the Sean Strickland situation. Did a whole hour on that in the beginning of the show. In the comments down below, let me know, was I too hard? Was I too soft? Did you agree? Did you disagree? What's your thoughts on Sean Strickland? Will he be able to beat Duplessis, or will this emotional breakdown break the middleweight champion at 297? All your thoughts need to be spoken in our comments section down below. So just go at it in the comments. I'll read all the comments. I'll see what you guys got to say. And thank you guys for watching once again. Beautiful human beings of the chat. We must go on. Fuqua Friday is on Friday night. Saturday, we'll see what the hell's going on because no fights. But, you know, we'll see what the deal is. But thank you guys for watching. And don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole. Good night.